Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gambit's Cup Week 4. I think it's 4. Yes, week number 4. Where I will be doing 2 Clan Wars as well as 2 tomorrow. So I'm doing the entire week of Clan Wars. It's going to be amazing. So to start off today, we are going to have Team FR, Fire Resist, Yobo, something, versus iFU, the International Federation of Untouchables. And then we're going to have LRM versus Net Wars, 2 of the undefeated teams in Gambit's Cup so far facing off. So that's going to be super duper exciting. So yeah, starting off with FR versus iFU. iFU, let me have a look here, is currently tied at 5th in the rankings. That means they're right in the middle of the pack. They have 1 win and 1 loss, so they won against... who they win against? They won against... Oh, they won against Fox. They got an all-kill against Fox. And they barely lost against SAS, actually. So that was a little bit surprising. It went to the ace match there. And FR, unfortunately, has 2 losses. Now, they do have a pretty strong team if you look at the lineup. So you might be surprised that they're 0-2 until you look at the teams that they've played so far. In week 1, they played against SAS. In week 2, in week 3, they played against LRM, and then week 2 they had a break. So basically, they've played against 2 of the strongest, 2 of the strongest teams in the league so far. So I don't think they should feel too bad about that. And yeah, maybe they can get their first win here against iFU. I think it's certainly possible. I think this is definitely going to be a close match. I think I liquid bet on iFU, but I still think it's pretty close. Anyway, first match is going to be a ZVP between Mr. Eon Zerg, the captain himself, coming out, versus Idagel. I'm not sure how to say it. I'm gonna go with Idagel. Shit, I'll figure it out during the cast. Anyway, PVZ for game number 1. Let's get started. Alright, sweet. Oh, the tag's in the back. Alright, cool. So, Idagel, I think we're going with that, will be the orange Protoss at the bottom right. P5. And his opponent, Mr. Eon Zerg, will be the blue Zerg at the top left. Oops. Ha! Did that work? Yes, it did work. Fantastic. So yeah, the map is Polaris Rhapsody, in case you were not aware. And 2-player map. It's kind of funky. So the natural expansion's pretty standard, just kind of here on the bottom, on the low ground. But as a third base for the Zerg, the close bases are 2 mineral onlys, like here and here, and they're kind of in the middle of the map and not particularly well protected. I mean, this one's kind of okay, but it's more likely that the Zerg's going to try and take this double gas corner base as their third, I think, which is slightly further away from their main base, but there's only 2 kind of narrow ramp entrances into that base, and there's like a little gap here as well, and then there's a slightly wider ramp up here, but it's kind of farther in. So it's actually, even though it's quite far away from your main, it's not that overly hard to defend, I don't think. So yeah, probably gonna see that. But in the meantime, it looks like we've had a 9 pull here from Mr. Eon Zerg, as well as a gas trig going up to 10 supply right there. And Idigel's not too concerned, he scouted that out. He's going for the Forge Fast Expand. Of course, as I said, it's 2-player map, so Probe gets there right away. I'm actually curious why Eon Zerg did decide to go for the 9 pool, since it was a 2-player map. I don't know, I mean, you know, you might not want to go for the 12 patch in case it gets blocked, but I think going for an overpool, probably reasonable compromise. Even an 11 pool, if you are a certain 5 hatching Zerg, you might favor that. Anyways, we got the cannons going down. 2 cannons, pretty standard against a 9 pool. Gonna go do a good old hatchery blockaroo. Oh no, that wasn't a good block. Oh man, he only had like 307. What was that? 17 minerals? 317 minerals. That was like barely blocked at all. Definitely got to work on the probe shenanigans. That's okay. And Idigal saw that there was no gas, so shouldn't be overly concerned about any kind of run by or speeding all in or anything like that. I think the SimCity here should be okay. Just plop the gateway down here somewhere. I don't know. I wonder if it can fit like right here so that there's a little gap for units to walk out. That would be really cool. I'm not really sure. Let's have a look. Alright, where's the gateway go? Gateway goes somewhere? Alright, he's making it flush with the forge. So the gap's on the top, which is also fine. It would have looked cooler if it was like against the cliff, but it doesn't really matter. Anyway. So it looks like, despite what I was saying earlier, Eonzorg's actually decided to take the close spinner only third. Not a huge fan of this move. It's quite open, as you can see. The Protoss can just like attack down this ramp. So this is a ramp, and this is the high ground. So the Protoss attacks down here, and it's kind of hard to get a good SimCity. I mean, I guess you can. I'm not sure if you can actually fit another hatchery in here. If you can, it's not that bad. I guess you put another hatchery here, put some Sunkens behind, but still kind of awkward. You know, the goons can start shooting stuff. So that's not very nice. And of course, it's a mineral only instead of a gas base, so that's equally not nice. And it also doesn't give you an easy fourth, which is what Zergs like to do nowadays, of course, on 4-player maps. You know, you take another natural, get basically a free fourth base, and you're all happy about that. Although, given Eonzorg's style, I mean, he's a pretty aggressive guy, pretty aggressive player. I don't know about in real life, but in StarCraft, he's a pretty aggressive guy. So perhaps he doesn't really care about that kind of fast fourth macro play. Just wants to go kill the Protoss. But we do have a gas, we do have a fourth hatch. This fourth hatch actually was before the gas. Sorry, I wasn't really paying attention. I clicked it and it didn't really register in my mind what was going on here. He's actually gone for 4 hatches before the gas, presumably for just some kind of 4-hatch Hydra opening. Which would explain why he took the closer base over here, because you want to kind of keep your bases somewhat close. And I'm not sure how I like that on this map. 4-hatch Hydra, Polaris Rhapsody. Any thoughts? Anybody? That seems okay. Seems reasonable. So our second scanning probe going out. And we got a pretty fast +1 here. And no Stargate, we got a Citadel. I think I clicked this as well. I need to like start paying attention to what I click. I kind of just mindlessly click around the map just to make sure I'm not, you know, that even if I miss important things, at least the viewers can see them. But maybe it's more important that I don't miss important things myself as well. I think that would actually be the ideal scenario here. So we're going to have some kind of 4-gate speed launch shenanigans. Is he going to do some kind of like 4-gate 2 Archon old school thing? Is he like taking inspiration from G5 here? Oh my god, how did this probe get in? What just happened here? I don't know where these things were or what they were doing, but this has been completely scouted. So Idigal knows exactly what's going on here. And yeah, I'm not sure that this speed launch attack is going to do too amazingly well against the Hydras. We can see speed already being upgraded. The thing is, Eonzorg doesn't scout it, but he's got decently good overload placement, so you can see he's covering this bridge. Well, he's basically covering 2 of the paths towards his base, right? So there's kind of 3 main paths. There's this one along the right side, this narrow bridge thing, and there's like this area along the left. So ideally, he's going to leave like a Zergling over there just to make sure nothing sneaks here on the left side. And once he does that, as soon as the speed lots run out, you can just start spamming Hydras from his 4 hatches. And you know, if he puts like an Evo here and kind of does a bit of a mini SimCity, he should be okay. Again, this base is a little bit more open, but I think if he puts like an Evo here or a hatchery or something, actually I don't think you can fit a hatchery there. I think if you put an Evo there, you can SimCity it a little bit and kind of keep the Hydras behind. Yeah. So we'll see how quick Mr. Eonzorg's reaction is. So we got archives here from Idigal. I like how the gateways are all kind of put right along the edge here, kind of maximizing the space in the main base. Just gotta be a little bit careful that you don't trap stuff. Anyway, so the Hydra production has already started here, so this is what I'm talking about. The Hydra's actually, you know, Eonzorg actually switching the Hydra production before the Zealots even moved out. So by the time these guys get out, the Hydra's like, oh shit, you know, there's a bunch of speed lots coming down. They already got speed, so they can run away. And they're actually going to try and engage here on the outside of this ramp. Ooh, that was a good idea from Eonzorg. He didn't quite block it off properly, so he's actually going to lose a lot of his units right here. That's not ideal. Really should be pulling back a little bit more here. Kind of hard to control these small groups of Hydras against Zealots. It's definitely possible, but much better to kind of just mass up a little bit. By the way, Ianzorg's also taking a pretty quick 4th base here, so this actually makes a lot of sense in light of, you know, the fact that he did go for 4 Hatch Hydra, so he's establishing a pretty early ground army compared to, you know, compared to the normal faster Spire builds. And this, he's going to try and use this kind of to make sure that this base is actually safe. Given that it's a little bit further away, just kind of establishing map control. And I think he's got plenty of Hydras now. These Zealots really shouldn't be an issue. They do have +1, they do have speed, but that is quite a lot of Hydras. I mean, if the Zealots run in a little bit more and get a better spread, nah, it's going to be pretty close, because speed lots are pretty damn good here. But the thing is, we got the shorter reinforcement route for Ianzorg, so you can just keep pumping Hydras, and the Zealots have to run all the way across the map. So, yeah, as you can see, Idigel is in fact going to pull back. I don't think Idigel is actually aware of this base at the top right. Which could actually be problematic later on, because Ianzorg's essentially on 4 bases right now, four gas bases, because of the double gas here. So so Idigel really kind of needs to make something happen in not too long, basically. You know, he doesn't have to immediately go out and kill a base, but you know, you kind of want to make a move within the next, say, 3 minutes or so. Either do some kind of big attack, some big gateway explosion, or kind of move poke out and start thinking about taking your own 3rd. So we got a couple more gateways going down, but the attack is kind of stopped. Well, not that many drones here. A couple of them did die to those Zealots. Did he just like transfer a bunch somewhere? Okay, this mineral only is pretty well saturated. Yeah, Ianzorg's saturation isn't actually good at all on any of his bases. Well, I guess the mineral only is okay. It's just over 1 per patch there. So that's slightly concerning. And looks like we're gonna have another engagement here in the middle of the map. The High Templar are actually lagging a little bit behind here. Gotta be very careful about these when you only have Zealots to support them. Can very easily get sniped off, but oh, pretty good storm there. Doesn't actually kill anything. Does a good amount of damage, and that's a bit of a wasted storm here. See, this is the problem with fighting running battles here against Hydralisks. It's so easy for them to actually dodge. You need to kind of force the Hydras into a corner so they get stuck, and then you storm them. I think he should have just saved that until like he was moving across the bridge or something like that, or moving up here and kind of waiting for a better engagement. But it looks like we're actually gonna have an expansion here at the 3 o'clock. So deciding instead of taking one of the closer bases, which are just mineral onlys, he's actually going for a slightly farther away base here at the 3 o'clock. But it does have a narrow entrance here, so you can put just a few cannons here and a High Templar and kind of defend that anyway. So I kind of like that choice of an expansion, especially if Ianzorg doesn't scout it. It's gonna be really nice for him. And this High Templar unfortunately has no energy for Storm. It's a lot of speedlots coming in here though. One sunken about to finish, a lot of Hydras as well, but man, that is so many speedlots, and that Storm could be crucial here. Does get a good number of Hydras with that Storm. Ianzorg could be in a little bit of trouble right now. Not enough Hydras remaining. This mineral only looks like it might go down. I think he just needs to might have to just give that base up and pull back to his natural. Ianzorg is losing so many Hydras as a random probe here. I have no idea why. He has enough money for a Mana Nexus, but I think he's a little bit premature for that. I think it's probably just a miss control group or something. He accidentally selected a probe with that control group, but either way, his Zealots are just tearing things up right now. A bunch of drones have gone down. They've been pulled from that base. I don't know where they're going right now. They're just coming back to fight or something. Oh man, it looks like Ianzorg might kind of barely stabilize, but I think this hatch rate could very well go down right now. It's going to be pretty close. It looks like Idigel might just focus down the hatchery. Yeah, he is, in fact, going to target the hatchery. Meanwhile, one probe actually going to go scout that top right base. He's going to see that base now. The hatchery is going to go down. The rest of the army, though, is going to die. But a very good attack there for Idigel. And while all that was going on, of course, he did, in fact, get this base up. He's got 4 cannons now. If he just leaves 1 High Templar here, this will be almost perfectly defended. It'd be so hard to just break this with Hydras. I don't know what this High Templar is doing. He's got a storm. He should storm something. I think he tried to run up here and, like, storm... Well, actually, there's no base there, so there wouldn't be any drones. Just trying to look for a place to storm or something. Anyway, so just like Idigel's little, you know, skipping Stargate attack has actually gone fairly well for him so far. He's now on 3 bases. He's still only got 6 gateways. Should probably start adding a couple more gateways. Could definitely do a few more there. But otherwise, it's looking pretty good. Now, are we still missing a lair here from Ianzorg? We are, in fact, missing a lair. Ianzorg still on level 1 tech here. So really committing to the Hydras. Yeah, man, he took those 4 bases so fast, but he just had so few drones here. It's quite weird, because normally when you 4-hatch Hydra, I thought your saturation actually gets quite good, so I'm not really sure why his saturation was so bad for so long here. I mean, if we take a look at his mineral only, or sorry, his mineral lines right now, it's still not very good here. He's still got basically 1 per patch right now, so even though he kind of opened with 4-hatch Hydra, it's almost like he's Hydra all-inning right now. And this is obviously not going to work with all these High Templars here. I think he needs to like stop making Hydras and make some drones. He's making a lot of Hydras here. I think he actually is going all in right now, which I don't really see why that's necessary. Oh man, he's made a lair as well. Oh man, a little bit of scattered thinking or something. I'm not really sure. I really think that last round of Hydras should have been drones, and that would have been a lot better for him. I mean, the Hydras really are not going to make much headway here. There's so many High Templar, and look, he's just bleeding Hydras and getting almost nothing done right now. I mean, the Forge isn't even upgrading, so like picking that off isn't going to do anything. In fact, if Eonzarg actually scouted... Oh, well, never mind. I was going to say if he scouted this base, he could attack that one, but with the High Templar there, and what was that, like 8 cannons, 7 cannons? That's not going to happen. So Idigal, I think, is in a fantastic position. It's 3 base against 3 base. The fact that this is a double gas base doesn't mean anything, because obviously Eonzarg's not mining gas there. Eonzarg's tech is miles late. And his saturation is not good. He's made you know, too many Hydras things. He's still making Hydras. You just need a few more drones, man. Come on, Eonzarg, just make a few more drones. I know you can do it. Drones are really good. I mean, Rhett likes drones, and everybody likes Rhett, so surely drones are a good thing. Interestingly, Idigal's money is getting really high. I did say he needed more gateways, and it's not happening. In fact, he's gone down in gateways because he's lost that one. So he's now on 5 gateways on 3 base. That is way too few. 5 gateways is easily supportable on just 1 base, so... Or sorry, not 1 base, but... Well... It's easily supportable on 2 bases that aren't even fully saturated. So if you've got 3 bases that are decently saturated, you should probably have like, you know, 10, 12 gateways at least. I'd say 12 is probably a good number. 12 sounds good. Sounds reasonable. Anyway. So this is just a matter of Eonzarg kind of bleeding Hydras and not getting much damage done, and eventually Protoss has a big enough army to move out, and it looks like now is that time. The only question is actually how many storms he has left. It looks like he's only got 2 storms left, because he did use quite a few fending off those Hydras, but I mean, this ground army is pretty strong in itself, and Eonzarg is just getting completely mauled right now. Idigal busting out the front here, taking everything down. Looks like his forces are getting quite spread out though. Eonzarg with a good Hydra splitting actually might be able to barely hold off this force. It's pretty close. Eonzarg just pulling back to good locations here, using the high ground over here, kind of splitting up the forces, preventing any good storms from going off, although there weren't that many storms anyway to begin with. And it looks like he might barely take the engagement here. It's very close. But it's more or less an equal trade of armies. The only problem is I don't know if Eonzarg can actually replenish his forces as fast as the Protoss. It's kind of weird because normally the Zerg is the one that favors army trades and can replenish much faster. But in this case, because his economy's not been that great, I'm not sure exactly how well he's going to be able to reproduce. Whereas Idigal now, with all the additional gateways here at the top, is going to be fine. He's actually just going to be pumping stuff out like crazy. Did he just queue up like 4 High Templar? I did a little bit of queue, and that's not ideal, but, you know, you gotta spend your money somehow. Anyway, looks like Eonzarg's finally got some Lair Tech going. He's got Lurkers out, but he's at 64 supply against 102. Although I think that's probably a lot in probes. Anyway, looks like, DT shenanigans. This Dragoon is just messing things up here. If that Dragoon wasn't there, this DT could just kill everything. But see, look at this Dragoon. He's just informed Eonzarg that there's a DT there. Man, that freaking Dragoon. Stupid Dragoon. I mean, you know, we all know Dragoons are stupid, but man, he just completely cockblocked this DT. He only got 3 drone kills when he could have got like 12. BM Dragoon. It looks like the drone's just gonna murder this guy. Yeah, kill him. Kill him. He killed the drone, that's fine. Anyway, looks like we're slightly lurker contained. That's problematic, of course. But not that many supporting units, not that many lurkers. It looks like, good storming, good storming. And that's the end of that contain. Not that many Zelts behind it, looks like. It's mainly Dragoons and Templar, which is fine. It's a strong composition. And looks like DT guy's actually not been taken care of because these Hydras actually don't know where to go. Eonzarg are just getting a little bit scattered. Oh my god, why are there drones here? Looks like Eonzarg had rallied all his hatcheries to the front, so when he finally did make drones, they're going not where they're supposed to be. That base is looking pretty sweet. It's like Le Double Forge in the main base. He's not actually upgrading from them. Does he have 2-1? He doesn't have 2-1. He's not actually using these forges, which makes me slightly sad, of course. I think upgrades are so ridiculously important in PvZ. They can actually be game-changing. It looks like this DT guy is gonna escape barely. Eonzarg can't find him anymore. He lost track of him. Oh, it gets taken out anyway. But in the meantime, look at the Protoss army moving up here to the top right base. I don't think there's any way for Eonzarg to save this. Should probably just pull the drones back and sack this base. If he tries to attack anyway, I think he might just die. I wonder if it's worth going for a counterattack at the Protoss Natural. I'm not really sure. Let's have a look here. Yeah, there's no High Templar here, but there's still a few cannons. Either way, not really sure what Eonzarg can do right now. He's at 63 supply against 146, and that is an ungodly number of High Templar. Look how many High Templar that is. Oh yeah. 8 High Templar, 9 High Templar. That's a little bit overkill actually. I'm usually not a fan of making more than 6 in like the mid game composition because I just don't think you can use that many storms. It's much better to have just an additional Archon. Because I mean, are you really gonna need what is it like 14 storms? I don't think so. Hey, you never know. Wait, all right, there's one. Good. So we got another base here, the double gas. If you can hold that, that's gonna be so good. If you can get a double gas as Protoss against Zerg, oh, that is so imba. Protoss loves that gas. Anyway, this could be the final battle regardless. Unless he kills his own obs. Nope, saves one of them. And this base is gonna die, and Eonzarg is gonna die. And I don't know what he was storming there, but that's gonna be that. So Eonzarg is going to be back down to his main and his natural. Protoss is going to be on 4 base. And Mr. Capitan has actually dropped the first set here against FR. I'm sure he's not too happy about that. I'm actually, I almost spoiled yesterday's TLS results, so maybe I should not do that. But of course Eonzarg was in the 3rd, 4th place match. So he did pretty well in TLS, pretty strong player. But unfortunately, not working out for him in this game. And I'm just kind of waiting for him to leave, actually. I don't have anything interesting to say because he's dead. GG from Eonzarg. And Idigel, or Idigel, whatever, takes the first game. FR is up 1-0. Sweet. Alright, cool. FR 1-0. So, going on to game number 2. It is going to be... Oh my god, it's going to be a TBT. What? What is that matchup? I don't actually know what that means. What is Terran versus Terran? Is this like something from Warcraft? I don't actually understand what this is. I don't know. I think our organizer's gone a little bit crazy here. I don't think this actually exists in StarCraft, but I guess we'll just go into the game and see what he's talking about here. Oh, and of course the players are going to be Dima from FR. I believe that's Gargoyle, right? Dima is Gargoyle? I think it's Gargoyle.